of the chairperson of the board and also the composition of the board. The auditor has indicated these two matters have been addressed, but just shed light on existence of this board.
Oh, thank you, Chair and members. We have delegated some functions to the board, to the City Board of Nakuru, and also seconded some staff to them to help in their work. I believe at the time of the audit, the board may not have been fully constituted because some members' time had run out, but we have since recruited and gone to the assembly and gotten them approved, so we have a fully functional board now, and they run independently. But I would wish for the city manager to add anything that I may have left out on that. Composition as well.
Yeah. The question on the composition was that during the audit we had included an extra person. This is a person who had resigned in between the financial year. So in our wisdom, we thought because of the financial responsibility we include, but we were guided by the auditor that if at all the members are 12, you stick with the 12. But also the governor said that we have full house, and we are operating. And we have five functions have been delegated to the city, and beside event secondment, they have been transferred because the law requires them to be transferred. So that has been done. No wonder we have even the accountant who are also the CPAK registered physical planner, registered environmentalist, and as a board, we are operating as a board, but operating also our own account. I think that is on why we are here. The manager is an accounting officer. That has been done. So that's what the county has done. Chair.
So your salaries and all that is paid by the city and not the county?
You run payroll, basically.
You run a payroll?
You run a payroll, basically.
No.
You don't run a payroll?
Yeah.
Do you have your own staff or they are seconded from the county?
No, staff now have been transferred. They are our own. Though the payment is being made by the county. The CC Finance is here. Maybe he can clarify further on that.
And you collect your own revenue?
No, Chair.
Can you state to us the functions that have been given to you by the county?
So we have environmental functions within the city. We have the traffic management, development control. We have the parking, and we also have the advertisement. The 5 of them.
Who collects revenue on those functions?
The revenue is collected by the revenue collection in Nakuru is centralized.
Do you see the problem?
If you follow the county, that is the Urban Areas and Cities Act, we should also, I request to submit that we are in the process. For example, the way we started in 2020, we never had a function, we never had a budget. So it's a work in progress, and we've made some step. Even having the 5 functions delegated to us is a work in progress, and I believe that in the fullness of time, we are going to have all those functions delegated.
Are you trying to save your job before the governor? Is that your desire? Is that your desired answer? Governor, on this, it's not because it's a city, it's not a municipality. At this point in time, if you want to grow Nakuru city, it has to be completely autonomous. Because the Urban Areas and Cities Act, and there are a number of those sections that will be read to you, they can be given to you to go and read at your own time. I don't think we need to belabor. But you cannot maximize the effectiveness of that city without allowing it to be functionally autonomous, operationally autonomous, and fiduciary autonomy. You will not maximize the effectiveness of that city. And it is always worse when talking about municipalities. It is even now I don't know, terrible to talk about city not having that autonomy. Because what the Act contemplated is basically an agency relationship between the county government and the respective city or municipalities. But in this case, city is higher than a municipality. So what we are expecting here is that those functions that you have mentioned must be able to run completely in an autonomous way that then allows you to collect revenue, and then you agree with the county government out of the revenue that you collect, what will be the amount that will enable you run your functions as a city? And then what is the remaining amount that then you do an agency relationship by giving that money to the county? Because that is what will let the county maximize its own source revenue. Then the county then becomes a policy framework for you and also an oversight function for you to be able to see whether you're meeting your milestones, you're putting proper sprints in terms of targets to maximize those revenues. So if the county is still centralizing those, how is this city going to be effective? How are you going to compete Nairobi, Kisumu, Mombasa? Or even if you are ambitious, governor studied in the US. Are you going to compete a good city like, the ones that you've seen in Minnesota and other places? Just give it autonomy. The more you let it go, the better off you're going to be as a county.
Senator Mbugu.
Thank you, Chair. Let me address the city manager because he's my friend. I serve in the devolution committee, and we are considering changing the matrix about awarding the charter. That after 5 years since you received the charter, nothing has happened. We are considering a way of revoking that charter. Maybe you can tell this committee, since Nakuru was awarded the city charter, what has changed? Because the devolution committee will be coming, because even the other towns which are coming to be awarded charter, we are telling them nothing is happening. You come for a charter, nothing changed, you are still operating like a municipality. Maybe you can tell this committee what has changed since Nakuru became a city. And while you are preparing to answer that, I want to put it to you that the person who is, you've provided the degree to be the chairperson of that whatever city. This person called Stephen Mulinzipki, supposed to have graduated in
Any other issue in relation to independence? Okay, through the governor. Maybe governor, you can respond, or you will let your manager.
No, sure. I was going to. I think we have talked about autonomy. I think it's good that he responds to these questions. But on a serious note, we have been progressively trying to do better, and I agree with you, Senator Eddie, that when the more autonomous they are, the more helpful they are for us. Because we have a whole big county to run. City, they can be running the city and making sure they are very functional and operating very well. To transfer staff, so that's under them. We have actually given them those functions, and we are still going to continue to do better, and we have taken what you're saying. But I want him to respond, and I want him to do so freely. He shouldn't feel like his job is in jeopardy or anything.
Yeah, it's true.
Calm. Your job is.
Yeah, what has changed from the municipality, one is the number of the staff that we had at the municipality. That one has changed. Initially, we used to have seconded staff that were still answerable to their mother bosses in the mother department. So that has changed, and they have been transferred to the city. The other thing I have to note is the budget. Initially, when we were becoming a municipality, our budget was less than 100 million. As we talk this year, we have 700 million. So that has really drastically changed. The other thing is the reporting structure. Even when it comes to the payment, initially we used to work mostly through the department, but that has really changed after we became a city. We've been given that autonomy that even issues to do with the city, we are able to respond to the governor directly without going through the department. And even sometimes I'm also invited to answer some questions even to the cabinet. So that tells you the seriousness they've taken the city. And the function, initially we never had a single function as a municipality. So those functions have been delegated. And the governor has confirmed, we are in the discussion even this financial year, we are going to get more function, given that we are progressively attaining that independence. So that one I can report. And also the other thing that changed is the number of the board members that we've been having. So we have more board members and we have more projects. And also the benefit, another benefit that I will mention is that we also have more projects done by the national government that were never done to the municipality. One of the advantage we have to become a city is the national government through the State Department of the Urban Development is able to invest directly in the city. And that attests to reason why Nairobi, Mombasa, and Kisumu, they've been benefited from this massive project that now Nakuru is benefiting from. So these are some of the changes we are having. And the Senator, I agree with you that after 5 years, Nakuru, we've made some progress, and I believe even when the committee comes, we'll be able to compile all those changes. Thank you very much.
You haven't responded to Mbogwa's issue of the degree certificate.
For the degree certificate, what we did is that we just went to the file and we took the attachment as they were brought to us. But that's an issue we are going to look into then.
Before that is done, can I protest on that point? I think
What is your protest?
Stephen Muli's Nzuki's degree was not an audit issue. So why is it brought in here? We can see that the team behind the tent and Andres that he is investigating that, but it was not an audit query.
Chair, you.
Let me just guide. It is an audit issue. If you look at audit number 5, irregularity in the appointment of the chairperson of the city board. According to the auditor, he did not have the qualification. But now,
Chair is still insisting on protesting because the auditor did not raise that.
Chair, let me help my sister from Kitui, Chair.
Are you trying to protest because of the name?
I was going there, Chair. But then again, Chair, the issue is when we start casting aspersions on authenticity of documents, especially educational documents, Chair, it is not within the purview of this committee for a member to allege that a certain degree is either valid or fake. We have state agencies that are funded ably by the state chair to do that particular function. So it is upon the EACC chair to investigate whether that degree is a fake one or not. And chair as such, my good friend Senator Mbugu is out of order, Chair. Thank you, Chair. I hope I've convinced you ably, Chair.
Yeah, you know, the manager said he just saw the attached and he did not look at it deeply. So we can give him more time to go and verify the document that is here. And then he can verify that with those institutions you are talking about and advise us.
Chair, we're becoming very lenient in this committee. And it's amazing, we're very lenient. Because if the management is employing anybody, is there no requirement at competency level of being able to do your due diligence?
Chair, those are sideshows.
There's no sideshow.
And this must be extracted from the records. No, somebody mentioned that am I protesting because of the name? I am a nationalist. And we are addressing issues here about Kenyans, not about Canvas.
Chair, I think you should call the senator out of order.
Your colleague was on the floor.
I'm not only being out of the floor. There is no sideshow by colleague senators, Chair. And if the issue is substantive, I mean, I don't know why the senator is not seeing the grievousness of this issue when somebody has been employed with a university that was given charter in 2011. Their first graduation was 2024. And that certification says that this person graduated in 2022. I mean, 202. That's what is in the documentation here. That this person graduated from the same university in 202, before it was given a charter. I mean, will that concern anybody, not even just senators? It will concern even the governor. That is a serious issue of lack of due diligence from the management. And it's a gross violation of any employment processes. So I don't know why it becomes a personal issue. It's not a personal issue at all. In this Senate, we are very, very open-minded and very because this is not just somebody who was given a small responsibility. He's given a responsibility with the chair to run this city. Integrity is a big component of running the city. We're talking about fiduciary responsibility in that city. And by the way, if you read the Urban Areas and Cities Act properly, Governor, the fiduciary manager, the person who is statements for which then your executive auditor is not even the city manager. And that's why I invited you to go and read this act very properly. It is the chair of the board. In fact, that's the person who should be interrogating there. And then has got serious malpractice in terms of documents that were given, and then that's a small issue. I think Governor, you should take keen interest in the running of that city. Beyond what can come out of this committee, because I don't want to advance more than that. Chair.
Is the chair here? Is the chair of the board here? It's not here.
Must be here next time.
Yeah, proceed.
Yeah, Chair, let me also confirm that my chair has another degree also, so we just picked one. He has done one, he has the one, a theological degree, so we just opted to pick. So that one we can also provide, and I believe that the Council Assembly also during the vetting, they also did the same, and I can confirm that my chair is a graduate.
Yeah, but next time the chair of the board should be here because he's the main accounting officer for the city.
Guided.
Senator Amida,
No,
what
Chair.
are you laughing?
No, I was just saying you're making it worse. Just leave it up to that. I wanted to request the same what chair you had requested before, that they should be given more time so that they can look. Yes, they can provide, but then don't make it worse.
You know, it will continue being a query unless it is addressed. So my direction is that the manager, you know how degrees are verified. I think it's important for you to verify this degree with the relevant institution and share that information with the auditor. Otherwise, next year, 2024, 2025, it will still be a query.
Thank you.
It's
Guided.
gonna be a query. And then next time, make sure you verify all the documents you submit to the Senate.
Well guided.
Yeah. Because, you know, you can be held accountable for falsifying documents. That year, 2002, I was also a student at Management University, but the degrees were offered by JKUAT. Yeah, I did a master's program there. Eh? No, they were working with the JKUAT. So again,
Chair, as you guide on this,
yeah.
I don't like to belabor on some issues, but there are some issues that are very serious. And you know, the good thing is that Governor has been a speaker. So in the way these are things are approved, she has been there. She has been a senator here. When you delivered these documents to us as a Senate, they become on our files and on record. That's why you go unanswered. That's why the governor takes an oath when you come to this delivering of these documents. When you say something, and the senators don't think that I'm trying to belabor this issue. There are just some serious things that we need to put in order as a committee. The moment you have given us evidence that you have given us here under oath, it's on our record. The moment you say that the person in question has got another degree in an audit query, then basically you are saying, I want to expunge that out of the record and bring another degree, because we don't have that other degree here. And it's not a light matter of just saying, here's another degree, that one, even if it is fake, it's fine. Why are you guys belaboring on this? That's not how it works here. Because the auditors have this on file with us as a parliament, that these are fake documentation. So are you saying, telling us, Governor, that you want to take out this evidence that you've given to us, that this chairperson has a fake certificate, and then replace that certification? Is that what must go on file? Because we have to be very clear, there are some very thin areas that we cannot pass. So are we saying, because you're going to write a report, are we saying that this is a fake document that you provided to this committee, it should be expunged, and then you're giving us a new certificate, for which must be in our record? Chair, I wanted your guidance on that.
Yeah.
And your ruling on that.
And that's why I've directed that the burden to prove the document is actually the manager, your team. You give us the evidence that this document is authentic by verifying with the appropriate government agency that deals with matters of certificates. And then pass that verification report to the auditor, then the auditor can come back to us. I think all this process must be done within a month, 30 days. Now, in the event there is no verification, then we will conclude the document was fake. But let me of the document before this process is concluded. So the burden is on the city to provide us the evidence that what they have given us is valid. And if that is not given, then we will go by the assertions of the members here. It's not valid. And that is what will go in our report. So, Manager, kazi kwako. So, honorable members, I think the issue of independency, we have discussed it for long, and we have said that I think the Council of Governors working with us, we need really to see what we need to do in the Urban Areas and Cities Act so that we have a balance, because it looks like most counties are unwilling to make these cities and municipalities independent, because you know the reason. So we need a balance, we need an engagement, and I think the Vice Chair and myself, we have already held a tentative meeting with a consortium of managers of municipalities, which we are going to have a retreat together with the COG to discuss this matter so that we can have a balance, because I understand when county governments are unwilling to make municipalities or cities completely independent of them, because it means they carry all their own source revenue with them, and the governor will be there just as a figurehead. So we need a balance on that we have discussed. But even as we do that, the law is still there. If you don't comply, the auditor will always raise that issue in his reports. Senator Chimera, what is amusing you?
We were consulting in very low tones with my colleague that Chair is seeing ahead of times.
Is it? Chair is
seeing ahead of times because you want to become governor and you are afraid. No, that's why you are passionately pushing for these amendments. But that said and done, it is a fair amendment, Chair.
Yeah, not really. I think we have been here. We have interrogated almost every county on the matter of municipalities, and you see the difficulties. Because one, the the donors want to give money to the municipality, but the condition is that the municipality must be gazetted, must have a board, and all those transfer of services. So what they do is that they comply with that. But now the key things, independence is never done. It's just done for the purpose of getting the funds from donors, and then everything stops there. So we want to help them so that we have a balance between having functional municipalities and cities which are independent, and having governors to have some element of control. So we will be proceeding with that. So honorable members, I think let's look at Naivasha municipality quickly.
Chair, may I propose? Chair.
Yes, proceed.
Looking at this, Chair, I see that they are the same issues around independence, and we have just said the same things which we are going to say. So, Chair, I wanted to propose that perhaps we take comments that we have made on this and then do a written submission to the effect of the municipality, and then we spend more time on the water.
Okay.
Just my suggestion to the committee, because I see the same comments and I see the same adamants of Chair wanting to have this, meeting between them and the COG to make sure that this independence is stopped in anticipation of 2027. So, that's a later note, though, Chair. But I think it's the same. We are going to canvass the same issues. They can take the same comments, but we write a proper response. A proper recommendation on the written recommendation to the governor and to the all municipalities. Then we just focus on water. I think there are more substantive issues on water.
Okay, I agree with you that most of the matters touch on independence, and the independence has been raised as a query actually. Non-compliance with the law on independence of the municipality. But in the pre-meeting, we agreed that we will have a comment on query number 1, inaccuracies in the financial statements. And I don't want us to read through the query. We will have the query with you. We just need to know who was the accountant who processed these financial statements. No, I'm asking the auditor. They can verify that from their financial statements.
Thank you, Chair. The head of finance is CPA Karanja Peter Kariuki, ISPAC member number 33117. Thank you, Chair.
Can someone check? This was CPA Karanja Peter Kariuki. You are there. ISPAC number 33117. Membership status, you are active.
Yes.
And the status, not in good standing.
Yes.
Why are you not in good standing?
Thank you, Chair, Your Excellency. The summon of this sitting coincided with my training, which has been approved by the board, so that I can get the remainder of the CPDs. Actually, as I'm living here, I'm also leaving to Mombasa for an ISPAC training for the entire of the week.
But you don't need to have ISPAC training to do some of the inaccuracies I'm saying here.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, very basic inaccuracies.
Yes.
So how are you intending to resolve these inaccuracies?
Thank you, Chair, Your Excellency. Some of the inaccuracies were brought about by the prior year comparative figures, which we are rectifying, and also we have sat with the auditor and we've given out what we have done so far to rectify some of those inaccuracies, and which we are going to restate in the subsequent financial year 2024-2025.
You see, have you read, are you conversant with the Accountant Act, Section 30?
Yes, Chair.
What does it say? It says that any misstatements and errors of this nature may constitute professional misconduct.
I concur, Chair.
Yeah, so it's not a laughing matter. So this committee has decided that moving forward, we will be reporting such cases to your professional body, and you know what it means.
Yes.
So next meeting of this nature, we don't want to see this. Make sure there are no misstatements, there are no inaccuracies, there are no errors in your financial statements.
Well guided, Chair.
Yeah. Any other comments, members? Okay. So the other issues on independence applies, but maybe we can find out from Her Excellency the Governor about the independence of this municipality. What have you done so far?
Kind of similar to what we've done with the city. We've also transferred employees. We've given them a budget. We've delegated some functions. But I would wish, or rather I would want our municipal manager of Naivasha to sort of address it, and maybe he can tell us what seems different or what is different.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Again, my name is Daniel Bogo Derito, Municipal Manager Naivasha, and we are happy to be in this committee. I think our case is pretty similar to the Nakuru City scenario. The main functions that are delegated are development control and solid waste management. We also are in charge of traffic and development and also advertisements. But on top of that, I think in the current a big number of projects in the wards which are now being implemented. Projects, I think that is our the main area where it has been doing a lot, and also across other municipalities it is the same scenario. And basically we do have more staff. We started with only about 6 staff. Now I think we are close to 20 staff. So implying that with the human resource capacity, and now it is possible for the governor to download more functions, because the 3 key areas of urban areas is to have plans, which we have basically prepared, like the integrated urban development plans. We also have the spatial plans necessary, and also now the budgetary capacity, which is again also being enhanced, because Naivasha was having just close to 100 million shillings budget. Right now we are at 512 million. So I think it's a process and we are heading there. Thank you very much.
I wanted to hear about the transfer of assets, which is a query that has been raised. The transfer of motor vehicle, land, buildings, equipment, computers is still in the name of the county government.
Chair, we'll have the manager handle that as well.
Chair, I think that is also work in progress. We have attached a number of documents which including the variation of the assets, because previously we did not have the variation, and that generally across the county, which has been done through the assets departments, through the Department of Finance. And we do have an extract of that. But I can lie if I say that all the assets have been transferred to the municipality. The fact that it's a process, but we have our assets register, mainly the assets that we are working with. Yeah, the concept is that most of the assets that were owned by the defunct local authorities are destined to be back to the municipality. And that's why we also have attached a variation report here, and an asset register, including all those assets. And I think in due course, this process will be complete. Yes.
The auditors reported that the valuation report was not approved. So what's your comment on that?
Was it? Yeah.
So, sorry, Chair. Let us have, if you don't mind, the CEC for Finance would be better placed to answer that.
CEC Finance.
Thank you, Chair. The valuation for both the movable and fixed asset was being done through in conjunction with the counties and the Devolution Ministry and ITGRC.
So any comment from members? Bogwa?
Thank you, Chair. Just a clarification, Manager. By the time of audit, can you confirm that you are working with only 4 staff in your payroll?
Yeah, through Your Excellency, I think I cannot confirm and I cannot deny. What was happening is that these were the only staff that were directly in the payroll of the in the payroll budget of the municipality. So implying that any other person that was in the municipality was on secondment, so that they were now appearing in the Department of Finance, but he's an accountant in the municipality. That is the process that has been fast-tracked. So now we have close to 20 staff, because those ones, most of them have now been transferred to the municipality, including our accountant here. He was in the Department of Finance, but right now he has been transferred to the municipal board. So that was the scenario that led us to be having only 4 staff, because they were close to 10, but others now moved out. So we came down to 4, but the scenario was that those others were actually acting or seconded in the municipality. Thank you.
Any other question, Senator Edie?
Chair, mine would just be a job of mine to to the managers of these municipalities. Perhaps if I ask you, what has been your biggest challenge as a manager of Naivasha municipality in the last 1 year? You as a manager.
Well, we started
one challenge.
Yeah, we started with a few staff, and it's difficult to work without much a number of staff, especially the key staff. I could be very competent, but without HR capacity, it was a bit challenging. I believe when we have good staff, even without a big budget, there are many things we can still do, which don't require a huge budget. But I think staffing was a challenge.
Yeah, I'm asking that because of what Senator Mbugua asked. Just say running your payroll has been the biggest challenge, so that the governor can see why we insist on payroll being run by you, because payroll is a functional element of how you run the budget. This budget doesn't just come. A budget is a translation of your functions combined with the HR, right? So when you can't predict when somebody will be secondary to you or not, and you've got only a payroll that is running 4 staff, you really can't work. Yeah? And I saw that because there is the same issues. There is no operational autonomy. There is functions given to you, but there is no operational autonomy and there is no fiduciary autonomy, financial autonomy. This is your biggest challenge. And Governor, I don't want to put the manager under duress, because I know that you understand what I'm talking about when I talk about these issues of autonomy. And by the way, Governor, us as a committee, we have been fighting for you at the same level that now these municipalities and cities are fighting. When we were in the meeting with the national government in finance and budget where I sit, when we asked them to allow for WSPs to get autonomy from water work agencies, you know what they were telling us? That you governors don't have capacity and engineers who can be able to run water functions in counties, despite the fact that it's fully devolved. So the same fight that you're fighting for you, now we want to fight between you and the municipalities. I mean, I think that then it becomes so unfair for us as senators to sit and watch. Apart from the conflict of interest of the chairperson, which is understandable, but the good thing...
You are out of order.
The good thing is I'm actually in order, because the good thing is that he himself last 2 weeks signed a conflict of interest bill, which will catch up with him when he goes to the county. He will not be able to effect these changes. So just make sure that you give these counties, I mean these municipalities and cities autonomy, and then we will be able to move better. There's no way around it. I think it will just serve you better. The same way we believe that you will serve the country better if all the functions that are devolved functions are given to you as governor, and not only that, all the subsequent finances that comes with them that are required under the law are also given to you. We believe you build the capacity, but they need to be given out to you first.
Yes, Senator Amida.
Yeah. Chair, just regarding the public properties, there's a lot of grabbing of public lands. Public land. So I was just asking, what safeguards have you put in place? Then also, how sure are we that the public properties don't end up in private hands as you're during that process? But then also to the governor, these assets, do you ever think that they'll be fully transferred to the municipalities? Those are my questions, Chair.
Chair, we'll start with the managers and then I'll do mine.
Yeah, I think the function of LAD is also important as in Naivasha as in any other areas. I think what the board is doing right now is to do an inventory of the public land that is existing. We did have the inventory that was created sometimes back, but right now we are trying to update. Otherwise, we are not fully doing exclusively outside the Department of Lands. We have the CC in charge of lands who is also helping us. But as we are at the stage in which we are, we do find that most of the land that is existing, if you look at Naivasha, most of the land that surrounds us is institutional land, like KWS, JK prisons, and so forth and so on. But we do have pockets of subdivided farms, which were big farms, and they did cede some land, or to some extent, it's not very clear. That's what we are doing, so that we can have that one and be able to have some land bank for the future. We are in the process. That's it.
Oh. Through the chair, Senator's question is really valid, especially a lot of our public land. I'm not sure if it's the same thing across the country in other counties, but for some reason, we have had to fight a lot to get public land back to us as a county, because people just grab land and make it private. I mean, we've even had cases where people have grabbed land from the police station. We've had cases where some of our religious institutions have grabbed public land, so it's a bit dicey sometimes. But what we have done, we've had some hospitals grabbed by individuals. So it's a continuing issue. It's a serious issue, but we are working very hard to push back and make sure that what belongs to the public comes back to the public. In fact, there are places you go, you want to put up a market, you want to put up a hospital, but the only public land that was in that area has since been grabbed, and actually buildings have come up and all that. So it's a big problem, but I hope eventually over time we work together with you as Senate to help us in this recovery, plus the other institutions, because it's not an isolated case and it's all over the county. As far as the transfer of assets back to the municipality, as the CC had earlier said, we are working on that process of verifying this asset register. After that, doing valuation on these assets, and we will be transferring them to the municipalities or to those different municipalities. Actually, we have about 3 and a few upcoming. Yeah, so we are going to be doing that across the county.
Okay, honorable members, I think you have all the responses for every query. The issues in municipality are similar because of the issue of independence. So we will stop there on a matter of municipalities and cities. And the team that is coming in is from water companies. As they settle down, we'll give you 3 minutes healthy break. Strictly 3 minutes. Yeah, see the one, it's a good team.